Yeah, you look beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I swear, you wouldn't go to the ass woman. I know you hear that all the damn time. Yeah, you fine as hell. I know, thank you. So, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome, actually. I'm in Florida right now. I flew down on Friday. I flew down Friday night, and I'm
Word.
gonna be here for a while.
So how it feels to be back in your home state?
It feels great. So I'm staying with my best friend of 10 years. Like I'm talking about like close, close, close bestie. Never fought, never argued, never switched up on each other, nothing like that. She knows everything that I do, my job, like industry, all that. Like she's the bestie.
Oh yeah, cause sometimes when you do this business, even your best friends look at you side eye. You
Yeah.
know, cause I be trust me when I go to function with my friends, I'm the butt of the joke because I did porn. And see, all my boys men, so see, all of them are men. And they're like, yeah, my wife was a little worried when I told her that I was going out with you, nigga, knowing that you do porn and shit, nigga. I was like, really, dude, your wife worried. Okay, like I'm gonna bring a bunch of girls. Like they automatically assume because I did porn, I'm gonna just have a bunch of girls on speed dial just to show up with a whim.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
oh my goodness. So for some of you smokers, y'all know who she is. Y'all seen her, what have you, which we're gonna get to. Actually, this is not a premium smoke episode, people. This is a regular smoke episode. Actually, a bonus smoke episode. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who I am, Kavanaugh the Southern Champ, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge. You know where you can do, let me do this right. See, cause her gorgeousness is fucking me up. You know what I'm saying? Cause sometimes I get around it, that smile make me a little nervous. But anyway, y'all know who I am, Kavanaugh the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Let me tell you about four sponsors that we love and they love us back. The first one being the Facebook the LS community, lsworld.com. Next up, the Highs Adult Magazine in the Game of Rock, Magazine.com. Next up, for you content creators, 90% profit. And for you consumers support a new place for you consume it. I'm talking about excitebunny.com. Also, award winning, award nominated. We're talking about voiceover with smut, and they even have virtual reality. Shout out to my man, son, photographer, the one and only blusherotica.com. Also, we're a proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. So go over to shopgwdistrict.com and buy something, why don't you? Also, in the mornings, 5 days a week, go to fullyswapradio.com and check me out as I give you that smoke that nobody else will give you podcast wise about the industry of adult film. And last up, the last two, where you can find me at. First up being skyhawkafterdarktv.com, and you can also find me on the BGP LLC app. Now, if you're a premium smoker, you know who this is. She's gorgeous. She's sexy. She is one of a kind, and Lord knows she got some serious sex stories that y'all need to check out in the Premium Smoke Room. I'm talking about the one and only Princess Ivy. Say hello to my smokers.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so my premium smokers know who you are. That's for my paid subscribers. So of course we had to introduce you to the smokers and everything. And so tell everybody what you do, how you do it, and all that good stuff, so they can get a
Okay, so
what.
I am a professional dominatrix, other known as a pro dom.
Mm-hmm,
Most pro doms tend to keep things online these days. There's a lot of like, whatever. But uh, I'm skilled in like, my profession takes place in person. Everything that I do IRL sessions, which is in real life, not
mm-hmm,
online. I mean, I do offer online sessions as well if anybody's
mm-hmm,
open to booking that, and that happens over Skype or, FaceTime, etc. after being verified,
mm-hmm.
and with the deposit, because deposits are friggin' mandatory because people will waste your time for absolutely no reason at all. Besides pro doming, I am a full blown switch. So I have like a natural like submissive side. So I also create ABDL content, DDLG, and I don't know, like some Harajuku, like fashion, Ahigo, like content, like, you know, I go by Slutty Baby Ivy on Twitter. And that's just like my straight out slutty whore, like nasty me. When I'm not in Dom space. When I'm not in Dom space, I'm a big slut, okay?
So
Other than that, I consider myself a fetish enthusiast because I also mentor and train other female doms. Not that I wouldn't train a guy, but I've never had any guys come to me like, hey, could you train me on how to do this, how to do that? And that's basically it. I'm a, you know, full blown work at home content creator, pro dom in the adult industry. I've been here for the past since 2018.
Okay. So let's go back. What got you into, first of all, becoming a dom? Let's begin there. How did you
becoming a dom?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to say it was after, actually it was when I first got into the industry. I first got into the industry starting with phone sex operation, like phone calls. My friend who was doing this as a side job because, you know, she had to have an extra form of income because she had just had a daughter. Same situation as me. I had just had my son. You know, I was looking to make a little bit extra money because I was out of work for a little while. And I thought this was only going to be like a, you know, a part-time thing, like a one-time thing. And I just found out I liked it so much. And I started getting so many requests for my phone calls when people would call me like, hey, could you do this? Hey, could you do that? And I wasn't really knowledgeable on the backgrounds of these fetishes and the kinks that they were asking me to, like, you know, talk to them about. I, you know, went and did the research and looked more and more and more to it. And then I had a friend who was like, yo, I do this. If you need help, like, you know, I can introduce you to some people, this and that, etc. Have you ever thought about, you know, doing in real life sessions? And I was like, no, I haven't. I've just always kept everything on the phone. And they're like, you know, hey, it's more money, da da da, you know, let's see how you do. And we literally went with, like, you know, was very optimistic about it because I'm an optimistic person and I love doing spontaneous things. He was like, let's set you up a few sessions. Let's just see how you do. You know, you already have, you know, the character, you know, the role on the phone. Let's just see how you do. I got thrown straight in and I was just natural. I was a natural, like natural dominant. And I just, that side of me, I love it. I was just a natural dominant person. It just came to me. And I've never disappointed anybody that I've seen ever.
Let's unpack that first session. So you see your client. What some of the things you did with that client?
What are some of the things that I?
Yeah, you did with that client for your first ever session.
With the first one. So the first guy. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna call him Potty Mouth, because that's what we nickname him afterwards. So I'm gonna give a little detail. He was a truck driver. Potty Mouth was a truck driver. He was, you know, just traveling through the States. I set up, you know, my stuff online. He found my listing and was like, I'm interested in water sports. You know, I want you to pee in my mouth. And I was like, what? So I had never peed in anyone's mouth. I had never whipped anyone with a flogger before. I had never just did anything. And my friend who was helping me, like, you know, mentoring me, they were like, okay, we can go with the script if you want to. You make you feel comfortable. You could just, you know, practice the script and go through that. The whole script went over my head. It went over my head. No. If this was a good thing, The script went over my head, but in doing so, I stepped in and just, it was just this other side of me that just took control of the whole situation. So when I tell you this guy was 30 minutes late to almost like 40 minutes, I was a little upset. So I was like, okay, I channeled that energy and was like, you owe me, pay me more. And this is what it was. So I walked him in. Before I walked him in and let him through the door, I blindfolded him. I put a collar around his neck and a chain, a leash. And I walked him in the house. You know, I guided him through the house. I was cooking because he was late, you know, so I started cooking, you know, whatnot, and had like scraps all over the floor. When I tell you, I made this man like get on his knees, like eat like the cheese and whatever scraps like fell on the floor that while I was cooking, like clean up. I was like, this is your punishment for being late, which wasn't his real punishment because I found out I have also a sadistic side as well. That same day, I kid you not, I made him like stand up, palms and hands straight out, like straight out in front of him. And I took a metal dog bowl, like a water bowl, like,
Yeah.
and I put hot water, not boiling, but like hot water from like the sink. I got it as hot as possible, and I put it in there. And I made him hold it in his hands. I made him hold it like straight out, like, and he had to hold it up, and he wasn't allowed to drop it. Like, I mean, obviously it was hot, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I added that on his list of punishments. Let's just say he had fun. He loved it. He loved like absolutely everything. I just turned into this whole different person. Like,
Yeah,
it was fun.
A lot of the clients that a female dominatrix get, they're dominant in their normal life and thrive to serve somebody in this life, you know, period, whether it's male or female, you know, period. And a lot of people find that kind of crazy, but I'm like, no, because it's no different than you take a man who is submissive in, let's say, his personal life. You know, he takes it out on his dominant life when he's a manager. Because everyone had that manager that can't get no word in edgewise at home. So when he gets at work, he really micromanages.
It's like a form of release. That's what I tell people all the time. It's more to it than just causing people pain or, you know, overpowering them and such and such. People find release in this, you know, making decisions all day and being, you know, having to make a decision for that and being overcharged in that and stuff like that. They're coming from out of their real life and they're entering into like this safe space to where they can just be free to let go of all their responsibilities. You know what I mean? Like, so it is. I am very caring. I provide aftercare, which is a big thing because of sub drop, DOMs as well experience, drop as well. That's a different subject, but yeah, it's a big release. Like mentally, it could be very like just.
Yeah, because I tell anybody, for me being a dom, it's not about the sex. It's never been about. It's about, I get off on knowing somebody has submitted to me. You know, period. My whims, willing to do whatever I ask. That's the turn on for me. You know, I can have a session with a female sub and not even have sex with her, be just as turned on if we were about to have sex. Because they're human furniture, or I made her, you know, crawl on the ground, or I made her clean up the house. You know, if people don't realize when it comes to dominatrix, our sexual, how can I put this? The nut that we get is more mental than physical. Because it's more of a mental game than anything else.
And then as a dom, we appreciate everything that they do. It's not like we're just simply treating them like shit and we don't give a fuck. I mean, there are some doms out there like that, which people need to avoid. And that's what a vetting process is for. Because most of the time people just go in and then they're going in not knowing what they're doing. So I always push people to vet anyone. If they're not seeing me and they want me to recommend them to someone, I can recommend you, you know, to someone I may know, you know, of, but behind closed doors, I never really know how they make this person feel, like mentally, how they've actually treated them, if they've given them, you know, a sense of like, you know, praise, appreciation, etc. Like as far as that goes, like mentally, as you know, being in that submissive role, like if they treated them, you know, right, if they go through and actually provide aftercare after a tough like scene or such and whatnot. So I push them, like I push whoever I talk to and whoever I'm around to do that themselves and vet the people that they're, you know, seeing or wanting to see.
Yeah, because what people don't realize is that it's a training process when you gain a sub. Not only training for the sub, but also training for the dom. Because I keep telling everybody, the doms never chooses the sub. Submissives have the most power because it takes more power to submit than to dominate. Because that means they're giving up more in order, they're giving up their energy and power to you. That takes more strength because the average person don't want it. Even as a boss, let's be real, it's hard to give up. Like, even with me, like if I ever get to the point where I may have to negate editing and loading to somebody else, it's gonna be hard for me because I'm so used to doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it by a certain standard, by a certain time frame, or what have you, that now I got to give up that power to this person, and they may not move at the same rate as me or as fast as me, you know, period. So it's a similar situation. When a submissive gives up power to the dom, they are in the power position, you know, period. And so people can understand what the dom is doing. He's learning, or she is learning, how to be a better dom to that submissive, at the same time the submissive is learning to be the proper submissive to that dom. Just learn going both ways.
Repeat that last part again.
I said it's a learning process going both ways.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah, because that's another thing that's really confused, you know, to outside people or to vanilla people who don't understand, you know, BDSM or DNS dynamics in general. They looking in from the outside, they don't understand. You know, they're like, oh, this person's controlling, this person's, you know, that. It's not that. The submissive has the real power always. We are willingly giving this other person power over us. Without our permission, without our consent, they wouldn't have any of that. It goes both ways. And there are structures and there's levels, and every dynamic is different. It's all about, you know, who those two are, or who those people are, you know, like.
So now, of course, you started doing in person, which I've been telling people, the real money in fetish or BDSM is in person. That's where the real money is in, you know, period. Because even if they see you on camera at some point, if they see you come to their town, they're going to want an in-person session. That's just facts. So when did you turn to creating content?
When did I start creating content? I started creating content when I started getting requests for the things that I do. Like, oh, do you have any videos of you, you know, doming this person, or, you know, doing this type of kink or fetish, etc. And I was like, no, I don't. You know, so then I was like, I need to do that. If people are interested, I'm gonna, you know, I was more than willing to give them what they want, you know, like. And so I started, you know, seeing which of my personal submissives or clients, you know, wanted to be, you know, filmed or photography, you know, videography or whatever.
Yeah, because so people understand this, it's a difference between finding a guy to fuck you on camera and finding a guy to be dominated on camera.
It really is.
Believe it or not, even though you hear a lot of girls complain they can't find a content partner, it is way easier to find a content partner that will fuck you than a content partner will let you pee on them, shit on them, beat the fuck out of them, and walk them around like a dog.
It's a lot harder. It really is. It is a lot harder because not everybody's up to willing doing that, and mostly because they have their own lives, you know, outside of here that they don't want comprehended, or what's that word? They don't want.
They don't want nobody to recognize their ass for the most part.
That's yeah. For instance, I seen a lawyer before, you know, so
he be talking, he be at work talking about, bro, Was she walking you like a dog? You
Yeah. I've seen a lawyer before, you know. So then his I couldn't get any pictures of him, like not with his face, but he was allowing to have the rest of his body, like, you know, in my content, which I was perfectly fine with. And then for those who are, you know, are comfortable having their full body otherwise, you know, except for their face, I also provide like hoods, or we could always blur the, you know, videos out, etc. But, you know, it's no one ever wants to be in a situation to where they're doxxed and then their job finds out, or, you know, they're criticized, you know, just for doing their own thing outside, you know, in their personal lives.
yeah,
So,
because to be honest with you, men don't have a safe space to express their sexuality.
uh-huh.
Women do. Homosexuality do. But as many people sit there and say, no, they don't. No, homosexuality, they have clubs, they have pride. No, a man can't sit here and say out loud, I want to get fucking ass with a dildo by a woman. He can't. He can't. He gonna look crazy. We saw what happened when Mano talked about race play. Now, mind you, race play, the black man is the dominant in the scenario. He's just, he's still predominant. But to most people, it's weird and you know what I'm saying, crazy. So a man, his only safe space is when he goes see a woman like this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
period. Go see a dominatrix, or when he goes see an escort, because them the only places where he can really have the grace of discovery without the headache of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So shoot. So so how often do you? Well, okay then. Do you do solo content?
Yes, I do. I do a
Okay.
lot of solo content, and that is, it's mostly as me as my submissive self,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my ABDL self, or
Mm-hmm.
my puppy girl self, you know, when I'm in pup space,
Now,
or
what's
just,
A?
you know, my
So,
pure
so
slutty
understand-
submissive space.
so where's ABL? So everybody can understand that.
ABDL. Okay, so ABDL, I'm gonna say right now, it is looked down upon by a lot of people, not even with inside of the kink community, but on the outside, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
vanilla people, so to say, because they don't understand it. And a lot of people also confuse ABDL with age regression, which is another problem. And you don't want
Okay.
to confuse the two. So age play, so to say, goes into ABDL, but age regression is more of a therapy. Like literally, you could go see a therapist and they will put you through a process of age regression. And age regression, should I say, involves going back to doing more childlike things to heal
Yeah.
your inner child self, should I say? You know, like
Yeah.
coloring or spending time watching your favorite cartoons, or, you know, journaling, or just, you know, just again relinquishing those responsibilities and freeing yourself from your real world like stressors and reality of having to do all of these you know, things that you normally would have to like be important and whatnot. But then that's where the confusion comes into play with ABDL. So ABDL, sometimes it is sexualized, sometimes it is not sexualized. Not everybody likes their little space, so to say,
Mhm.
sexualized. But ABDL is adult adult diaper baby lover. So there's adult
Mhm.
diaper and then there's baby lovers. They
Mhm.
split it down the middle just like DDLG. So DDLG is daddy dom little girl. You can have the two together or you can have them separate, because just because you're a little girl in a submissive space doesn't mean that you need a daddy dom. You could have a mommy dom instead, or you could just
Yeah.
have a caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you're a daddy dom doesn't mean you necessarily want a little girl, you know, like.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm both. I'm an ABDL baby. I'm also a DDLG little girl. And again, I have my pup space as well, like my pup space, my kitten space.
Oh my God. So which means that you be wearing the anal tails?
I wear
The
the
anal
what?
you be wearing the anal excuse me,
The
the butt plug tail?
tails.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I
I
have
love the damn
three
thing.
tails. I have three tails, and everyone who has seen, like, you know, my OnlyFans or my Desper fans has seen them, or they're on Twitter. They're somewhere on Twitter.
My good, yeah, because I actually yes people. She has pictures of her in diapers, and I just
Yes.
found it so sick. It was just like cute to me. I was like, that is so cute. So I wanted to ask you this. All right, do you have customers that want you to pee in the diaper and send it to them?
Yes, yes, I do. Oh my gosh. So there's this little boy. I'm not gonna say name, but he is subscribed to, like, most of my channels, follows me on everything, watches my content, joins my lives, and besides him, I get a lot of like clientele who like me to do the water sports inside of the dippy, etc. And that's actually very popular too. That right now that's on my Just for Fans. That's the top content rated. Like that's the top content for me right now on my Just for Fans personally. Um, Mostly because Just for Fans is one of the only sites besides, I want to say, Scatbook, that allows water sports content.
Yeah,
OnlyFans, they just remove all of that, and they're kicking people out who want to do water sports, or who you can't even start squirting videos on OnlyFans anymore, which I find highly ridiculous.
but
Like,
see,
your
the reason
pussy
why they
can't be
don't get
too
that
wet,
fucked
or else
up
they're just gonna remove your content.
the reason why, because I thought about this too when I looked at what happened with me with X videos, but now they wanting paperwork. A lot of these sites ain't making the money they used to because sometimes if people pay attention, you might make the payout, but they might skip the money sending it to you. That I've noticed that with a couple of sites. You know what I'm saying? Or they stagger your payment so that they won't pay you out as frequently. Period. I think that they changed these rules because one, for them to maximize their money. Because the less people, the less videos that they drop off, the less they gotta pay. Pay you. Period. And two, also with OnlyFans, they're also trying to be publicly traded. Can't do that. You got
Yeah, they're trying to change up their flow. We're not hating them we're not knocking them for that. The only thing we're knocking as sex workers, we're knocking them for just trying to take too much control too fast at the way that they are. I feel like they're not doing it right. There's a right way to do things, and then there's a wrong way to do things. I feel like they've tried too many wrong ways to just get rid of us. Like, and they should do it in a formal way, notify us, give us some time, like, implement, the rules, and, make the guidelines, and like show, like, just don't just boot us out, kick us, or, hold our payments and stuff like
a
that.
lot of
Like,
people use the excuse of it being MasterCard and Visa. MasterCard and Visa never asked for them to take off scat, never asked for them to take off squirting. That's something that they're doing themselves to try to make themselves more marketable, to gain more advertising, to gain third. Just like, because, for example, like them asking for paperwork. Once again, MasterCard and Visa never asked for them to cover, all they asked for them to clean up their site, to make sure there ain't nobody putting no bullshit up there. And then if someone, let's say I got something up on ManyVids or OnlyFans, and they send a request from the CDC saying that I don't own the rights to that shit. Now I need to show you paperwork. Period. Because to me,
that's reasonable, in that situation, that's reasonable. But
for me to just upload that paperwork, it to me is ludicrous because one, I'm giving you the opportunity and money and a way for you to sell information to make money to the advertisers. Because that's what they're really doing with the shit. You want to be honest. Period. And the other question is, when they bump your ass off, what they do with your videos?
Right?
For a second, they don't bump your ass off, gave all your money back to these motherfuckers, but they haven't.
They still have your content. They still have ownership and all of that of your content, which makes no sense. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, to me, it's like I said, a lot of this shit ain't got nothing to do with CC Bill, ain't got shit to do with MasterCard and Visa. It's about these motherfuckers being greedy and figuring out a way to make money because they know the laws have not caught up to them as far as internet on how content is supposed to be. Just like Just Believe, that's gonna be an issue when it comes to us when AI start hitting porn, but that's a conversation for another day. So so how would you film your solo content?
How am I doing on solo content?
I said, how often do you film it?
How often do I film solo content? So That's a good question. I film almost every week. Well, I do film every week. I film every week. I'm gonna say at least max 3 days out of the week. Sometimes more. Sometimes more. It depends on, if I'm getting requests, if I'm getting, different offers to see like different things, or I'll post polls. So like I'll post polls and ask like, my viewers, what do you want to see more of? You want to see more ass? You want to see more titties? You want to see more squirting? You want to see more pussy, more diapers? Like, what do you want to see more of? Spit, like, tell me, so then I'll cater to that. And or videos, pictures, teasers, so it all depends on that, because like, again, you have to cater to your marketing area, to the people who are interested in you. If you don't, then you're never going to go anywhere. Yes, you can be like a little stingy, I guess, and try to push what you really want to push your own way, but you also have to cater to who's paying for your shit, who's putting up the money. So
yeah, because I am gonna go front. It's like with a lot of solo content. I mean, it can happen with boy content too, but coming up with different ideas for your solo content, because you don't want to bore your fans. Because if you do, boy, girl, you have more of a chance to give a variety. Because even if you just straight fuck saying, you can do different dudes, different this. But when it comes to solo, you're completely by yourself. So you're playing to the crowd by yourself, and you have to come up with ideas that would keep your fan base engaged. So how you come up with
happy, keep them engaged, keep them coming and asking for more. Yep.
So how do you come up with like some of your ideas for your solo scenes?
So I'm a very creative person because apart from being like a content creator, I'm also an artist and a writer. I write poetry, spoken word, etc. And I draw, I paint. I do little tattoos on the side as well. So I'm a very creative person. I'm very big into like surrealism, so I don't know. A lot of stuff just comes to me, and then I'm how you say, like, weird or alternative, very so I cater to like that side of like, alt pop, the alt pop community or whatever. And I don't know, I just I'm one of a kind. That's how I'm gonna put it. I'm one of a kind, and I just do what I love. I'm very out there. I do a lot of stuff because people tell me all the time, like, wow, I can't believe you actually enjoy this. Like, I had someone, because I started, I whenever I posted my first like throat fucking, like with my hand video, people were just like really amazed by it, like oh my gosh, you're into that, like, because they've seen men throat fuck women with their hands, like sticking their fingers down their throats and stuff like that. But when they see me like do it myself, like, just going at it, and they were just like, oh wow, like, like, you're actually doing that stuff, you actually like this, you're actually into it, etc. And that's another thing, I'm all about giving what is real. I never ever try to give anything that is fake, anything that is like, from a script or anything like that. If it's not real to me, it's not going to be real to them. That's how I see it. So
shoot. So with that being said, because of course I got to ask the question that is always on everyone's mind, because I'm pretty sure there are male talents, producers, and everything gonna be looking at this interview, and plus as well as ladies, because always the question, because of course sex work is always the first thought that women have when they get into the business, that they got to fuck a dude or what have you. You, if I'm correct, you have not done any really boy-girl content, as in fuck a dude on camera per se.
You said I don't create that type of content?
I said, have you created that content?
So I have, but it's very rare. And I mean like very, very, very rare. When I first got started, and I was moving out of like doing the phone calls, the phone sex operator, like, jobs and stuff like that. And I was moving, into, you know, doing more IRL sessions, I was like, okay, my phone sex observation started as me being a submissive. Maybe since they're, you know, interested in all of these, you know, the content for my Dom stuff, I should make more submissive content. So I was looking, you know, for partners, and I was looking, you know, I was vetting like different people and stuff and everything, whatnot. And I just found that for me, I didn't meet the right people, so to say, that matched like my level of professionalism, that matched my level of kink interest and stuff and whatnot. So a lot of it has not been made, you know, because
it's different between finding someone to fuck you and finding a dom. See, it's because I talked to plenty of submissives that's in the business.
mm-hmm.
I want to do BDSM type scene with their bondage, slut training, and all that. And they understand the more authentic it is, the more it's going to make money. Because let me tell y'all something, people. You think they don't see a fake dom from a mile away, think again. They know when it's real. So,
really,
yeah, it's way harder to find someone that will do a dominatrix submissive thing than it is to find someone that's just going to fuck you on camera. Because it's a different type thing. I've done slut training videos.
I mean, not even that, because again, like catering to my slutty side, I'm okay with just doing like the fucking, as long as, you know, again, the professionalism is there and they're not into any type of drama, because I'm working with this person, yes, and they have their own thing going on, they are who they are, but they're also gonna be reflected upon me, you know. So I like to see who it is that I'm actually working with, and that was more of my thing. Like, do they have good, you know, people vouching for them? Are they who they actually are putting out there on the camera? You know, like I don't want, you know, my name dragged through the mud because I'm working with the wrong person.
Interesting. Which goes back to why, you know, I always ask ladies the questions, what does it take for you to say, I want to do content trade, which you gotta kind of said it, that you want to be professional, you know, because I keep saying this. You see, that's also why I tell females, don't be scared to reach out to established male talent. That's a mistake girls make.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared to reach out to the established guys. Established guys is always looking for a new girl to work with. You know, period. That's just facts. Especially when they know they ain't shot, because they're still a part of the game. That they want to be able to say, I was the first one that broke her open. I was the one that busted the chair. I'm the one that broke into the game. And so have you thought about actually reaching out directly to some established male talent that you might have followed on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm asking you.
You said, have I thought about reaching to more out established like people, professional?
Yeah.
So no, though actually there was one person. There's one person, and he's still on my list. I want to get my chance with him. I just haven't done it yet because I want to wait for the right moment. But he goes by Hobie Buchanan.
Okay, I think I know you're talking about. I think I know.
And he is very out there, and he just seems like, I know for a fact that our kinks and then like his interests and stuff like that would align. I just haven't done it yet, but he would be someone who I would reach out to if, you know, if I did reach out to someone more established and more up there and known by everyone.
Now, also a lot of times girls do boy girl because the money with their fetish is dwindling, is dipping. So they have to switch lanes, you know. In your situation, if you do boy girl, that's not the case. Am I correct? It's more you just want to expand what you do versus it's a need to expand. It's not necessarily a need there.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, which speaks to the fact of, which you can speak to this, having multiple ways of making income within the business. A lot of girls don't understand that concept. Like, for example, they'll just have an OnlyFans but won't have any other platform. And then look stupid when OnlyFans bump their ass off, and now they're fucked because they ain't got no place to go. You know, period. Or they're doing the boy girl content, but then that money starts to slow up. So now they don't know what to necessarily do.
You right?
And that's when they decide to jump into fetish, but they don't understand how fetish works. So
Yeah.
they think, because we have a lot of girls that jump into feet fetish because they think it's easy. That's
It's
part
not.
of
It's not. That
it.
is the biggest mistake. Never, ever, ever, ever do anything because you think it's gonna be easy. And nothing is ever easy, especially in this industry. Especially in anything in the adult industry, it's not gonna be easy. I mean, anything in general. If you're working for something, if you're trying to build and create a name for anything in life, it's not gonna be easy.
Mm-mm. No, it's gonna be a lot of work. So because we said that, y'all know what time of show it is, people. It's time to show where the pussies go dry, the dicks go nip. They talk about the business. It's the sexy part, people. This is what we talk about, the part of the business that nobody talks about. And she just mentioned how hard it is. But the hard part of it is not the filming. It's the editing. It's the posting, the marketing, the scheduling, the balance of everything that we're doing, period. Because with you now, you got to balance your personal life. You also got to balance your with also your meetups and everything. So speak to how much work this business really takes. Because I know walking in, you knew it took work, but you didn't know the extent of work it took to maintain this.
For me, I'm gonna say it's a 24-hour, just everyday thing, because myself, I wasn't here a couple of years ago, but even then it was still an everyday, push, strive, because you do suffer, you will suffer through a little bit of burnout. Burnout is natural for anyone, especially in this industry, with beating up and trying to, get clients and then filming. That's burnout right there. You're going to be tired, your body's going to be overworked, you're going to, you're not going to want to, do this. Maybe your pussy is fucking, just she's she's hurting or whatever, your arms, me as a dom, I'm always using my tools, moving my arms, doing this, bending over, squatting, etc., and then coming back to my own home life, having to clean, cook, take care of this, priorities, pay the bills, go here, go there. It is a lot. You're investing your full self into this. If you're not fully in, you're not gonna make it. If you're not fully in, you're not going to make it. Don't expect it to be some part-time thing. Oh, I can just do this and make a little bit of money. That's all you're going to get if you are thinking that way, is a little bit of money. And then there's no point to really doing it. Like, what is the point? There is none.
Yeah, because even when you think about, even with your solos, it's not even easy. Let's keep this 100, because I know what people think. It is way harder to film a solo than a boy girl. People may think otherwise. They're like, no, she by herself, this, that, and third. Once again, it is harder to film a solo than a boy girl, because you have no one to bounce off of. You got to angle that camera right, and you got to angle yourself right for the camera.
And then you got to motivate yourself. You got to talk yourself up, be in character. You just, your head is spinning maybe a little bit before you're doing, whatever you're doing. Like,
they don't realize some of the positions.
You gotta remember to pace yourself, take a break. You gotta remind yourself. And it's even harder when you are doing everything by yourself, if you don't have a team behind you. So it is good to make those connections, have a team, maybe have one person you could send some videos out to edit while you're doing this, or something, find some people that you trust. You can't just do these things. You cannot just do these things. You have to take the time to look into what you're doing, learn about it. Like it is, you have to learn. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to fuck someone, I'm going to do this, I can edit a video. No, it's not just that. It's so much more.
Oh, hell no. Because even with me being a male doing a solo, it was hard as fuck, because one, I have to extend a dick jack for 10 minutes. I don't know about why 10 minutes, because some of these sites don't accept 5 minutes. Because I love that people don't realize OnlyFans is the only one that lets you post a 3-minute video.
Yeah, some of them you have to have like that minimum. It has to be a minimum of this many minutes. Yep.
Yeah, because that's the only why girls jump the damn OnlyFans, because I can put 1 minute of me sucking a dick and make $50. Yeah, because OnlyFans didn't give a shit. They didn't give a fuck about quality or the customer. They only gave a fuck about traffic. But spaces like Fap House, they, because I didn't have a pop shot, they didn't accept my video. It was a certain size and they didn't accept my video. So it's just like that's why I said understand. It's just that little tidbit right there show you how hard the game is to a certain extent. Because like I said, even with like for example, if you're doing a fuck machine, you gotta angle it right so they can see it going in your pussy. You know, don't want it, the camera or what have you. Then, I even saw one girl, I had to give her props. The way she angled the position of the camera to get what she had to get for that solo, I said, well, damn. Now I don't care nobody say, this hard for me to do. And y'all you can't sit and tell me that you don't catch a cramp after a while out there. Fuck that.
I no, because you do. I did one video, what was it, like 2 months ago. I was upside down, like my back and everything on the wall. I was on the wall. Y'all seen it if you're subscribed to my Just for Fans. I was on the wall. I was upside down, and then I was a squirting video. So I was squirting, and I was trying to like aim for my mouth, and I had to angle and move my camera around 3 times. 3 times. I had to move it up. I had to move it down. I had to zoom in. I had to make multiple clips and then put it all together.
She was trying to squirt in her own face. Damn. Okay.
Yep. Oh my gosh. So you guys will see it in the video if you guys happen to join. I squirted in my eye. Like I was aiming for my mouth and it just went.
You
my hair was so.
You definitely are flexible. I'm just gonna say that because that takes flexibility and a half. Yeah, fellas, that means she's fun in bed.
That's another thing. That is another thing because it takes so much from you, like not only mentally but physically. Putting yourself through this, you have to stay physically in shape, and that's not saying you got to stay slim, thick. Because we are BBW women, etc. I'm just saying staying fit and active in general. You want to make sure that you're staying active so you don't suffer any of these, Charlie horses, cramps, etc. Because you don't want to be in the middle of a video and, oh, my leg is cramping up, etc. I need to stop, because then you're gonna have to do so many retakes. You want to make sure that you are being physically active,
because people don't realize. Because like I said, you haven't really done any boy girl. You not studio wise. It is physically taxing because the position is that, so people can understand, because I talk about this all the time. Just to give you an example, let's say the cameraman wants to get the side angle of you fucking short a doggy style and the dick going to pussy. I have to angle myself as I stroke to open myself up enough and push her butt cheek open enough, this butt cheek on this side, for y'all to see that dick curving into the pussy. Me just doing this on a seat is uncomfortable as fuck. So imagine me having to do that for 5 to 6 minutes.
I can't tell you how many days my back and my legs and my thighs have suffered. my arms, just from fucking myself. Like, just it is a workout, but I'm building my little muscle up over here.
Muscles. I see the muscles. But that's what I'm saying.
You ever see what was that? The Quagmire episode in Family Guy, where Quagmire had like the juke arm because he'd been masturbating so much.
He came out the house just like one arm strong as hell. I mean, that was when he figured out there was the internet. He found out about the internet.
He found about internet porn, right?
Oh, I was done. But see, that's what I mean is that that's the reason why a lot of people think what we do is easy. Because they don't realize the physical strain that it takes upon the body. And it's a mental aspect of it too, because it's a difference between you masturbating because you're masturbating for yourself versus I'm doing this for a video. It's a different mental game. It's a different mental
It really is. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna stunt. Most of the time, most of my content, like again, because I want to give everything that is real, all my orgasms are very fucking real. All of them. I've never really faked an orgasm, but you know how you can like be physically satisfied, but then emotionally you're not there. I've been in that position a number of times. Where okay, I'm doing this, and yes, it felt good. You know, it got me the etc. But then it's like, fuck, I am so tired. I'm just ready to like be done. Like, you know, like and you gotta keep pushing yourself because again, the burnout is real.
It's different between a nut and an orgasm. You can have a nut, but not necessarily an orgasm. You know, people don't understand what the difference. It's like I can
like squirting and then orgasming. The two aren't the same. They confuse that with women too.
Yeah, because they think because you squirting, you coming. No, motherfuckers, you just squirting.
No, it's not. No, they're two different things. They're two different things.
Yeah, you know, period. Just like with a man, it's like I can have a nut. Let's just say like that first nut is a good nut, but I don't have an orgasm for the second nut because that's the one where people like, you know, period. That's the one where he cannot. He needs a moment. You know, period. So I think a lot of people conflate that because also too because when you on set, some of the girls don't have orgasms because they're so focused on the filming and the shoot and angling themselves, they're not allowing themselves to open up to even have an orgasm to a certain extent. You know, period. Because I keep telling everybody, it's not the same as us fucking off camera. Off camera, there ain't no camera there. We ain't got to sit here and go 20 minutes. We can have a 10-minute session and it's great. No, not going. We need 20, 25 minutes. We need all.
But when you're filming, okay, you might have gotten a bad angle. Okay, the video might have cut out or somewhere. You know, something must have messed up electronically. You gotta go again. You gotta retake it. You got a bad angle. The lighting was off. You know, you couldn't see anything. Or maybe, just maybe, you went pee before you started and didn't realize you had a little piece of tissue up in there that you should have got out of the way. Like it gets real. It's real. It's messy. It's dirty. It's exhausting. It is exhausting. It is as much fun as it is also exhausting, and we really have to care for ourselves mentally and physically.
Cause even to the point, like I had to ask girls after, like let's say the second scene, if we was gonna do 3, how do your pussy feel? My motherfucker gonna be like, what the fuck you mean by that? Let me explain why. Because if her pussy is sore and beat up, she's not gonna give a great third scene. So that means alternative, whether it's just a BJ or what have you. And 2, you ask her how she feels because hell, she may not be able to do the third scene because just like there's some men that's one nut and they done for the rest of it, there's some females that they can't go like that, you know, period. And especially, let's say if you're a female, let's say you go to a Exotica or you at a content house and you're fucking multiple dicks. Now your pussy got to adjust to multiple dicks. And you want to be your best at 18. Can't be your best if your shit got them about to swell clothes because she's sore as hell. That's why I used to hate being like if we brought in a male talent to work with a girl. I made a point not to shoot that day. And the girl always asked, well, why don't you? I said, because I don't want to come behind him because he's bigger and he's going to beat you up. Like, you done got used to my dick because we done fucked all weekend. You have to get reused to him. So I'd rather for you to shoot with him than me come in and then you saw and the scene ain't going to be great. You know, because, you know, where female, after shooting with the guy, she was sore and she couldn't even do the ride sequence. We sitting there doing doggy and missionary. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a lot that even females have to think about when it comes to their body when it comes to filming. No different than
Yeah.
men. Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
And you
So
just all over have to make sure that you're prepared, you know, not only mentally but physically. You know, you don't want to overwork yourself. You shouldn't put yourself in the position, should I say, to overwork yourself. You should always try to make sure you are prepared the first time around. But then again, everything doesn't always work that way. So there are times where you have to, you know, readjust, refilm, retake, you know.
And see, too, the other reason why girls do solo, you ain't got to worry about that dildo paying for TTS. Cause guess what expensive she ain't got to worry about taking the test. Cause that shit costs after a while. You know, especially if you trying, because see, that's the only why I tell females that do it all make the most money. Because they have more ways of making money. They're not dependent upon one thing to make money. Because if you depend upon boy-girl content, now you got to find male talent. Now you got to be able to travel. Now you got to be able to keep a TTS. And we're talking about $250 per test. Some of these men do it 3 to 4 times a month. That's a fucking bill. I know damn good way y'all don't make back what the fuck y'all spend on that TTS. Not even in shoots. No way in hell. So
in my opinion, I go see my doctor, okay? And that's just even with my own like outside partners, you know, outside of, you know, my content creation. I go see my doctor, you know, let them bill my insurance and I'll pay my copay. If you don't have someone, like you should find a doctor, because some doctors they will do the full-blown testing for you. Not all doctors, you know, want to do that, you know. And then some people, I know of some people who've just gone to the hospital and got the full-blown test and they're, you know, one and done. But then that leads to a bill, especially if you're not insured, you know.
Yeah. So
but if you're insured, I suggest to avoid paying that $250. Go to your doctor, schedule an appointment, you know, be, you know, articulate with, you know, time management, should I say. Time management. Schedule your appointment. If you know you have a shoot when and you have this needs to be ready, schedule your appointment to be, you know, right before your shoot so that you have your paperwork in order to get things done.
So shoot. So do you do anal content with your solos?
Anal? Yes.
You gonna have a lot of male time hit your ass up after this damn interview. You know that, right? You have a lot of them out this motherfucker. But that's why I tell females, if you're gonna do male talent, well, one, the biggest mistake that girls make is they overshoot themselves because they shoot with so many male talents that they don't have content for themselves completely. Mm-hmm. So that's the balance that a girl has to find when they do content trade anyway. But like I said again, the all take of that is if you're going to give up something, let it be worth it. It's worth it if you do it with established male talent because he has a fan base you can tap into, and it might could lead you to pay gigs down the line because sometimes they do refer girls, especially if they're damn good at what they do. So, oh man. So, do you webcam? Do you webcam?
Yes, webcam. I do. So that is another thing. So actually, I'm gonna just tell you everything that I do. So I run 3 Twitters for all of my different sides, you know, and for all my things. You know, I have my Dom one, I have my slutty ABDL one, and then I have my other one, which is not adult content creation, but it's for like my streaming. I stream on Twitch as a gamer as well.
Oh.
As well, well, not a gamer, should I say? I'm just gonna say variety content creation. So I'm a variety creator on Twitch. You know, I do my art stuff, I do my poetry, I talk to my people, but I also game. I mostly game, should I say. On top of that, I have my 4 Instagram accounts. One is a spam, which is just everything, all like slutty, teasing, like just whatever. I have like spam content. Then I have my ABDL, you know, Instagram as well. Then I have my Dominatrix Instagram, and so on and so forth. I have my different platforms. So again, if you're gonna be in this, you got to give it your all. And I have all of these accounts because this is how I'm promoting myself. This is how I'm getting myself out there. This is how I'm pushing my content. And this sounds crazy because it is a big job keeping up with all of these accounts. but yeah. But yes, I do. So I do Chatterbait, and other than that, I was doing StreamMate models, but but that's for the model links. But I can't remember exactly what site because they go through a sister site, so it's a third-party sister site. So clients wouldn't go to StreamMate models to view models camming. They would go to a different website. But it would be through StreamMate models, if that makes sense. So
no,
like
I do.
StreamMate is the parent company, and then there's a sister, like, you know.
It's just like what is it? X videos have multiple affiliate sites, such as like X, what is it? XYNN or something like that. That's popular. Is through X videos. You know, period. So if you want to see their premium stuff, you had to go to you had to go to X video itself. But there's other sites that connect to X video. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So shoot. So I got another show I have to do. So unfortunately, people, I had to shut this down quickly. But she will be back, and y'all need to also check her out on Chronicles of a Spit Queen. We should be back, and we also going to bring her.
I love Miss Spit Queen.
Oh yeah, she's been on there. She got some great sex stories to tell y'all about, and we do some other stuff. And she will also be on the Premium Smoke podcast, which is part of the Premium Smoke Room. Y'all know what that is. 5 premium podcasts for you to enjoy. $4.99 a month. It gets more provocative. It gets more candid. It gets more crazier. Titties might come out. Dildos might pop out. You don't know unless you subscribe, and you can only watch it on Spotify. So who knows? Next time y'all see her on the Premium Smoke Room, she might show y'all. You don't know unless you subscribe. So with that being said, Princess, tell everybody where they can spend money on you, baby.
You can find me on Twitter at Slutty with 2 T's, SLUTTY, Slutty Baby Ivy. Or you can find my Dom account for y'all kinky fellers. You can find me at it's with the ITZ _IVY_BITCH. That's It's Ivy Bitch on Twitter. Also, It's Ivy Bitch on Instagram. It's Ivy Bitch on Just for Fans. On Instagram for my more ABDL slutty baby side, that is Sinful Ivy, and that's Sinful _Ivy. So that's SINFUL.IVY.
There you go. The many faces of envy. So excuse me, many faces of Ivy. My bad. Excuse me.
Ivy.
Envy for a minute.
You're good. You're all good.
With that being said, we at the end of a wonderful episode. Y'all will see her again and again and again and again with her sexy ass. So with that being said, life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? You haven't learned anything. Smoke this over. Say goodbye to him, Ivy.
Bye.